Hello everyone, you're watching EnglioCity and this is me, Abdul Sabur, your English language instructor. Today we are going to talk about one of the exciting, one of the interesting and one of the beautiful topic, right? Which is about how to speak fluent and how to speak with confident, right? So I'll be sharing about my experience of 8.5 years being a student and being a learner of English language, and after becoming an instructor and teaching people for many years, I've learned a lot how to improve your English fluency and how to speak confident. Well, first of all, a lot of students practice. A lot of students learn vocabularies. A lot of students learn idioms. A lot of students learn phrasal verbs. After all this, still they have problems with their fluency. Still they have problems with their confidence. They cannot speak confident. Well, so how can we improve our fluency and how can we sound more confident in English language? There is no way that you will be improved in all these facts. The only way to improve yourself is to follow up some tips and improve your English language. So I'm here to share about some tips. I'm here to share some tips with you people, right? And those tips are not the casual tips. Those tips are advanced and research-based tips as well, right? So first of all, let's kick off with the first step, which is learn in chunks. What do we mean by chunks? Chunks mean parts. You have to learn things in chunks. And this tactic, this tip will help those people who are usually at the very beginner level, right? There was a research which was conducted by prominent researchers, right? After years of study about language, they found out that if a person speaks or learns 1500 vocabularies in a language, and if an individual learns 300 sentences in a language, that person can speak a language. Though there are more than thousands of vocabularies in language, right? Almost 1,70,000 vocabularies are in English language, which are used in the normal day-to-day communication, right? But if you take an example of a native speaker of a language, a native speaker of a language does not speak more than 25,000 vocabularies, right? So the basic rule for every language is to learn 1,500 words or 300 sentences, right? Well, while you're learning vocabularies, being a beginner learner of English language, so you should not learn vocabularies just with translation. You should not learn it. You should not be translating those vocabularies into Pashto or into Urdu or into Farsi or into Arabic, right? You should not translate it. You should learn it just with the natural way. This was the first tip that helps you people in order to become more fluent in English language, in order to speak with more confidence. This tip is usually very helpful for the beginner level learners, right? And moving ahead towards the second part, and that is the most pivotal and that is the most important part, which is read out loud. Reading is one of the skills, one of the four skills of English language, and that's one of the foremost skills. Why? Because reading has gotten a lot of significance. I always guide my students to read. You should have a habit of reading English for 30 minutes every day. You should read, but that reading should not be reading in your heart. You should be reading in a way that you listen your voice back. It means you should read out loud. When you read out loud, there are lots of importance. Number first, you improve your speaking, you improve your listening exercise, and you also improve your reading skills. Why? Because reading is considered to be very important. And reading is also a source through which you get knowledge, right? Okay, moving ahead towards the second one, and that is finding yourself a partner for having conversation with him or her for about 10 hours a week, for about 12 hours a week, right? On daily basis, you need to practice English language with one of your partner. And how will you find a partner? It depends on you. You can select your friend. You can have a friend on social media. Just like the way when I was learning English language, I used to have a lot of friends. I used to have a lot of international friends, such as Michelle. I used to talk to her. She was from America. She helped me a lot. Why? Because she was my partner for the conversation. Alan from UK and Amy from Australia. Just like this, you also need to find a partner for yourself with whom you can start interaction and you can start communication, and that's how you can improve yourself. Well, the next part is confident. Well, this should have been first. Why? Because if you are not confident, you do not speak in a language. Let me give you my example. Once I was standing in front of a very big crowd and I was asked to deliver a speech in my own language. My native language is Persian, Farsi, right? And there, when I was asked in front of thousands of people to speak in my language, right, I went blank. I could not speak a single word in English. So the crowd started clapping in order to motivate me, and that's how I started speaking a little bit, though I committed mistakes. Though it's my native language, I'm so good at it. But the only reason which stopped me from speaking that language was confidence. Why? Because I never spoke in front of people. I never spoke in front of people except my family, right? So just like English, you've kept yourself limited to reading books. No, you must join English classes, or you must find an instructor, you must find a tutor online, just like YouTube videos you're watching, because those people share their experiences with you people, and that's how you can polish up your English language skills. The next part, and that is work on your pronunciation. I have previously uploaded a video, shared a video about reductions, and I'm going to cover a lot of other aspects of pronunciation. Pronunciation is very, very, very important. I exaggerated a lot. I use a lot of adverb, very, very, very. Why? Because I considered pronunciation one of the very helpful tool. Why? Because that gives you confidence. You think that you can speak a language properly. So when you have the knowledge about pronunciation, this is one of the tips as well, which helps you in order to become more fluent, in order to speak English clearly and fluently and perfectly, right? The next and the last part is find a tutor or find an instructor. Why? Because a language needs instruction, because we live in a multilingual society. What do you mean by the multilingual society? Among multilingual society or community is a place where multiple languages are spoken. For example, here we have Urdu speakers, we have Pashto speakers, we have Hinko speakers, we have people who speak Farsi, a lot of languages. And all these languages have different culture, or these languages are having different structures of grammar, different vocabularies, right? So for every language, you need to understand their culture. Once you start understanding their culture, you understand their language. So a language needs to be taught to you people by an instructor. Why? Because an instructor is well experienced. He or she utilizes his experience, and he or she delivers or explores or explain or elaborates the knowledge for you people, right? Well, that's it from my side. These are the tips that I think personally that is very helpful for you people in order to enhance or in order to learn, right, this English language, right, in a very short span of time. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. Knowing about these old tips is not important, as I kept on emphasizing on my students, right? You must start practicing. You must start following all these tips in order to enhance your English language skills. Well, If you know any other interesting tips about how we can become fluent or how can we speak English confidently, right? So do let me know in the comment section below. I would appreciate if you have a great tip for improving your English language. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great time. Stay blessed.